Hi, Mr. Keeler. Mr. Keeler?
I thought my secretary asked you to wait.
For 4 days? Well, you know you can't run your business without El Dorado paper. Only Roy Chase stands between you and depression. Now, you've got to think of your stockholders, Mr. Keeler, and their wives and children, and their girlfriends.
Mr. Chase, I don't think you're very funny.
Well, I'm sure not a top act at the palace, but I try, don't I?
You may put that away. I'm not giving you an order. And furthermore, I'm not dealing with your company any longer. And I'm calling your superior to tell him why.
Why?
You're obnoxious. I don't like your humor, and I don't like your manners, if you ever heard of manners. You forced your way in here, and...
Mr. Keeler, I'm a salesman. I work on commissions. I'm just doing a job, and well, you'll have to admit that 4 days is a long time to wait outside.
I plead for you, Mr. Chase. Give me El Dorado paper, please.
Mr. Keeler, you're one of our biggest customers. Do you know what you're doing to me? Mr. Keeler? Why? Now, what's the matter with me? Ain't I human? You want me to wear a bell like a leper? I'm insulted, and I smile. I'm shoved around, and I wait some more. I take it, I eat it, I get my face rubbed in it, and what? For you? For my wife? From the whole world? I've got a right to live. I got a right to live.
Breaking Point. Brought to you by Metrocal. Is this the day you really do something about your weight? All it takes is a little bit of willpower and Metrocal. And by the cigarettes with famous Raleigh coupons on the back of every pack. Raleigh, plain end or filter tip. And light menthol Bel Air.
While medical science has not yet discovered a cure for the common cold, a new research development could mean you may have suffered the needless congestion and pain of a cold for the last time. It is the new Anahist Continuous Action Formula, the monitored medication, which offers you up to 12 full hours of monitored relief. For example, Anahist relieves pain, coughing, and fever almost immediately. Then, as you go normally through your day, it continues to relieve sneezing and sinus congestion for up to 12 full hours. You enjoy life all day. You rest comfortably all night. No other leading capsule or tablet offers this degree of monitored relief. Get the new Anahist Continuous Action Formula. It could mean you may have suffered the needless congestion and pain of a cold for the last time.
That's how I lost Keeler as a customer. I don't know.
Well, now, from what you say, he certainly provoked you to a state of extreme anger, but that still doesn't tell me why you're here. Why did you want to see me?
I'm looking for a big white hunter. You good at killing big game? Like tigers?
Like tigers? No. No, I'm afraid I never had the chance. My specialty is inside stuff.
Tiger is inside. Here. And he's very dangerous. I'm hoping that you, the other doctors behind the glass, can kill him.
Well, tell me something about him, Mr. Chase.
Well, like that same night when I got home.
That was Gene Rogers on the phone. Tom's angry with you. What have you done?
What have I done? I've lost my best customer, that's what I've done. What have you done?
Oh, Roy, how?
Just lucky, I guess.
Don't you think you better eat something?
Oh? Pour me a sandwich.
Why did you knock over the water cooler?
It was no good. Had no gin in it. Why don't you go away, Helen? My stomach hurts. My nerves are shot. I'm going to pieces.
Oh, yes. Yes, I know. The whole world is against you.
No, just you. But you wouldn't understand that. You never have.
All right. Suppose you try telling me why you're behaving like this.
Because there's this tiger in my belly. Because every morning I leave this house burning with rage, and you know why.
No, I don't know why.
You don't know why? All right, then I'll tell you why again. Because all day long you're training for the Olympics. Tennis. Swimming. Riding. Archery. Bowling. I don't know what you need this thing for. Women like you should use human heads. You're full of energy. But when I come home, sorry, dear, I have a headache. Cold coming on. I'm tired tonight. I've had a hard day. Lita wore me out. You have the gall to bring home loving cups.
Shut up. Shut up!
Most of the time now, you're even wearing pants.
Maybe that's because I have to be more of a man than you are.
The world was a better place when women like you were burned at the stake.
Daddy!
Have you been standing there listening all this time?
No, Daddy, no.
Now, don't you lie to me, Lita. Now, you get right back to bed.
No, Daddy, no. I'm afraid.
Did you hear me?
Lita, go to bed.
No, I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Lita. Lita, you get right back to bed. Did you hear me?
No.
Listen here, you...
Now, you realize, of course, that you deliberately goaded your wife into a fight.
Doesn't it take two to make a fight?
Only takes one to start it. It seems that you wanted it to result in violence. Evidently, you wanted to hit her.
Me, I didn't hit my wife. What kind of a man do you think I am? Oh, I admit, at times I wanted to kill her, but I didn't hit her.
No?
No.
You didn't slap her in the face?
No.
And your little girl,
Lita.
yeah. You didn't want to hurt her either.
Well, yes, I did. I mean, I wanted to hit her, all right. She was disobedient. She lied to me. You can't believe a girl who lies to you. She ought to learn to appreciate her father more.
You don't think that she does appreciate you?
If she were unloved or orphaned, she wouldn't have it so good. I hope she never learns what that's like. Something like that can have a great effect on people. Might even ruin their lives.
That Thing bothering you again?
Yeah. I must have an ulcer or something.
No. No, I had a complete physical examination. What, you're going to say something?
No.
No, go ahead. What?
Well, it's just that, yeah.
No, what, Roy?
It's just that, for a moment there, I pictured my wife, and she had stripes, like a tiger.
Now, he says that he deliberately knocked over that water cooler.
Later on, he denied it.
Then he hit his wife, and he denies that. So? Oh. Yeah,
Doctor, Mr. Chase is here.
Chase. Look, he's a little early. Could he wait a few minutes?
He's quite upset, Doctor.
All right, send him in.
Well, good hunting. Watch out for pitfalls.
What's the matter, Roy? Tell me, what is it?
Oh, boy. If anything happens to me, it was like a nightmare.
Want a cigarette?
I was just approaching the clinic when this girl, I don't know, she must have mistaken me for somebody else or something, I don't know. She points at me. All of a sudden, everybody's yelling. And this girl and her father, they just went crazy. I panicked, that's all. I ran. That's all.
Why'd you point at you?
Well, I really don't know, but the father, I really think he wanted to kill me.
Why?
How should I know?
Well, I mean, you didn't know these people?
I never saw them before in my life.
What'd they say to you, Roy?
Well, she just kept saying that I was the one, that she was sure.
You were what one?
I don't know, I tell you. Will you leave me alone? I'm sorry. At first, he grabbed me. He tried to hold me. But I broke away from him. And then he said that he was going for the police.
The police? Wait just a minute. Well, Roy, nobody out there. There's no commotion, no policeman. Bothering you again? Look, Roy, I know you're trying to tell me something. Why don't you sit down?
You said there was something I wanted to tell you the other day?
Yeah.
Well, there is. I was taken away from my parents and put in an institution. My parents were put in jail. You don't believe me? Nobody ever does. Here, look. I brought this along to show you.
This explains a lot of things, Roy. Excuse me. What is it?
I couldn't stop them, Doctor. They're coming in.
Who? Look, I'm sorry.
Well, I think you're in there.
Yes, he's the one. Do you think I'll ever forget him?
I guess you didn't hear what I said. You sit out in front of me. Hey, stop it.
If it had been your daughter, maybe you'd understand the way I feel.
Sorry, Doc. The young lady made a very serious charge.
What?
Assault and attempted rape.
Who, me? Yes, you filthy pig. Listen, mister, you're out of your mind. I've never seen that girl in my life. Now, miss, now you've got to be mistaken. Now, you don't know what you're saying.
I'm not mistaken. I know you. You're the one.
Do you realize what you're saying? Are you sure?
Yes.
You'd better take your daughter away, Mr. Meade. I'll bring him down to the station.
Well, now, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. You mean you're going to arrest me?
Well, we don't usually give medals for this kind of thing.
Is this the day you finally do something about your weight?
May I help you?
No, thank you. Here we are. This looks nice. This will never do.
Oh.
Nothing seems to fit.
Would you like to look at some 14s?
Is this the day? All it takes is a little bit of willpower and Metrical. Metrical isn't chicken and dumplings. It is a simple, safe way to lose weight without hunger. Perhaps you'd rather not use Metrical as your total diet, but surely you have enough willpower to try it for 2 meals a day with a moderate third meal of your usual food. You can still lose weight. Is this the day you finally do something about your weight? All it takes is a little bit of willpower and Metrical.
Don't you want to know whether I'm guilty or not?
You just told me that you weren't.
You believe me?
Shouldn't I?
Nobody ever did.
Well,
Even now I have nightmares. A voice keeps saying, confess. Confess.
guilt feelings aren't new to you, Roy.
But suppose there is an animal inside me who could do what that girl said. How would I know? Doctor, isn't there some way, some drug, that truth serum?
Oh, no, now, wait a minute. You've been looking at too many TV shows. Now, sodium pentothal is all right once in a while. Only trouble is the patient hardly ever remembers what he said after he wakes up. Wouldn't be any good for your therapy.
But you know the truth.
You have to know the truth.
I couldn't play golf today.
What happened? Clubhouse burned down?
I couldn't face the women and their looks. Anyway, I came home and I started to work on our bank statement. Roy, I found something.
What?
I remembered the night that you came home with your face all scratched up.
Sure, the night I was so drunk. I told you I fell on the boxwood bush.
Oh, the boxwood doesn't have fingernails, Roy.
It was all trimmed. It was all knives and spears.
The next day, the plaster in the kitchen came down. Remember?
Hmm?
I had to call the plasterer. He came right away. I paid him by check. The date on that check is April 15th. The day after that girl says that she was attacked.
Wait a minute. What are you trying to pull? Does everybody believe me but my wife? And if you think I could be capable of such a thing, whose fault is it, eh? Huh?
So one of you don't keep a golf club in our room to keep me away with?
Oh, Roy, don't let's start on that subject again.
Well, why not? He can drive a man to all sorts of things.
Yes, and it can affect his wife, too. Do you want to know why I'm so cold to you? It's because for years I've been humiliated and demeaned by the fact that you're always trying to prove yourself. Before we were married, it was other women, and now it's me. Do you think that I enjoy being used as a tranquilizer for your anxieties about your manhood?
I know what you're talking about, huh?
Maybe I should get you a water cooler to knock over.
Just a minute. Now, whose side are you on anyway?
You'd never believe it, but I'm on yours.
What are you going to do with that check? The one from the plasterer.
Roy, a wife can't testify against her husband.
No, but she can send that check to the district attorney.
You honestly believe I'd do that? Do you? Roy, I married you. I care for you.
Sure.
Why don't you trust me?
Why don't I trust you? I'll tell you why. Because when I married you, I said a little prayer. I said, thank God somebody finally cares for me. Thank God somebody cares about this crummy, frightened little guy. I worshipped you, Helen. You were my queen, my lady. How do you think I felt when you began acting like a live snake every time I touched you?
Not at first.
No, not at first, no. No, there was a time. There was a time when I felt...
Roy.
Helen, I need you. Can't you see that?
Roy.
It's been so long since we've been close.
Roy.
The times that I've wanted to take you in my arms.
Roy, no.
You lousy female.
Roy, I didn't mean that.
Spider.
It's just that
Spider.
so quick and...
Tarantula.
Roy, we need a little time.
Cold.
Roy.
Poisonous. Spider!
You did it, didn't you? You did it. Oh, Roy. For your sake and my sake, please. Tell your doctor. Tell someone. Roy.
For the girl who is really chic, from head to toe. Here are 2 Lady Sunbeam gift suggestions. First, the Lady Sunbeam hair dryer with its generously large cap that makes it easy to have new, exciting hairdos. It cuts drying time of average hair to less than half an hour. And the faster hair dries, the longer the hairdo lasts. She'll go from one hairdo to another in record time. And for feminine daintiness, look inside this lovely boudoir case. It's the Lady Sunbeam electric shaver with the built-in light. Double shaving heads assure her of clean, smooth legs and underarms without nicks or cuts. And the built-in light lets her see what she's doing. She'll be chic and well-groomed from head to toe with the Lady Sunbeam hair dryer and the Lady Sunbeam electric shaver. Gift suggestions from Sunbeam. We pause now for station identification.
Helen says I had scratches on the night that girl said I attacked her.
Do you remember how you got them?
No. Not really.
No? Roy, I'd like you to tell me whatever you can remember about that night. Andy? Anything at all that comes into your mind.
Well, it was on the day I found out I wasn't going to get that promotion. I've been expecting that promotion for years to assistant sales manager. It was supposed to happen once old Livermore retired. Well, he did retire. I waited
for hours for them to call me into the front office. I called in Larry Finch.
What happened then, Roy? Come on. Let's spill it out. Roy, you've got to get it out, whatever it is. Now, what happened?
Well, I got off the train. I remember I was happy. A surprise. A nice surprise for a change. There was a car waiting at the station. Just one car. And in it was my Helen. And she still loved her lousy flop of a husband after all. Ah, Helen. Seal my immortality with a kiss. And again, she shoved me away. Her fingernails went for my eyes. That's it, I said. That's the last time anybody says no to me.
Oh, was it Helen? Was it your wife?
I don't know.
Was it your wife?
When I got home, there was Helen in bed, deep asleep. Doctor, what kind of an animal am I? Did I really go and do the disgusting thing that kid says?
Listen to me just a minute. It was one frustration after another. One punch in the face and then another. Every man has his breaking point. The time came for you when that decent, civilized man just collapsed.
Oh, what do I do now?
Roy, if the going gets too rough, don't go it alone. You call me. Give you my home phone.
Okay, Doctor. Doctor, if it wasn't for you, I'd...
Yeah, come on, we'll work it out. All right? Jimmy? Want to come in now?
Dr. Thompson?
Yes?
Could I, see you for a minute?
I have a patient right now. Could I wait till later?
Detective Shaw, DA's office.
Timmy, could you wait just a minute? We can go in my office. Oh, what is it?
I have a request for you from the district attorney. Could you drop in on him tomorrow? At your convenience.
I'm afraid.
Bringing with you the case history of Roy Chase.
Mr. Shaw, you know better than that.
Doctor, as you know, in this state, we don't have any so-called law of confidentiality. If a doctor is called to testify, he testifies.
I know that law.
Sorry to break in on your working hours. We'll expect you anytime tomorrow, along with all notes, reports, tapes, and so forth in the case of Roy Chase. Okay?
For at least 1,000 years, common law has held that justice has the right to all necessary information, that nothing can be kept secret that interferes with the true administration of justice.
What about the priest and the penitent? The lawyer and his client?
With those exceptions.
With those exceptions?
Yes, but when it comes to a doctor and his patient, there's a right of secrecy only when the state has passed a special law to that effect. Now, in this country, 33 states have such a law. 17 do not, of which ours is one.
So that in this state, if I protect my patient's secrets, I'm a criminal?
Yes, and liable to fine and imprisonment.
But I'm a Judas to my patient if I don't.
Do you deny that the state has every right to try and bring him to justice?
I deny that the Hippocratic Oath is an empty formality.
Well, you're a mature individual, one who's had the benefit of long training analysis. And I leave you to make your own decisions.
What are you looking for?
My thermos.
Under your arm.
No, this is not a matter of age. It's just that you confuse me sometimes.
What do you think you're doing?
I saw who followed me in here yesterday. What did you do? Turn over my whole file to him? Did you? Did you?
Roy, why don't you go over there and sit down?
Listen, I want to know. I've been awake all night thinking how that stuff will look in the newspapers. How it will sound to a jury.
What about the girl? What about Alice Meade?
Well, what about her?
What did you think of her? What do you feel about her, Roy?
Let me tell you something, Doctor. For 35 years now, I've lived my life without anybody ever being able to say I deliberately hurt them.
Now listen, Roy.
And one night,
Roy!
For 3 minutes, I reached a breaking point.
Then you did assault her.
I'm not saying that. But suppose I did. Stack up those 3 minutes against 35 years of good behavior.
But the point is that you...
And now what kind of a price am I supposed to pay? Stand up and confess? Go to prison? Put a mark on my little girl for life?
The law says that you're responsible for those 3 minutes.
Does it? And what do you say, Doctor?
It's not up to me to judge you.
Well, it's up to you to testify. It's up to you whether you're going to bring in those tapes.
But in this state, the law says there is no right of secrecy between doctor and patient.
So what are you going to do? You're going to go in there and spill everything?
Why are you so sure?
Because that's the way it's been ever since I've been a kid. Every time I got up on my knees, there was always somebody like you ready to kick me in the face.
Well, maybe you think that's all you deserve.
Oh, come on, Doctor. That's enough. No more analyzing, huh? The therapy is finished. It's over.
I'd still like to help you.
Oh, come on, man. How can you say that? How can you look in the mirror? You know something, Doctor? When I first came to you, I thought you were something special. I told you things I've never told another human being. But you're not special, Doctor. You're just like every other stinking person in my life.
Roy, if you committed a crime...
If you really want to help me, don't you tell me how terrible my mom and papa were to me. That's too hard. Why don't you do something easy like saving me and my family?
Oh, now how can I do that?
Well, just promise you won't tell them anything.
I can't make a promise like that.
That's what I think of you, Doctor.
I'll do what my conscience tells me, Roy.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Not for helping me, but for teaching me a lesson. You know what the lesson is. You can't trust anybody. Nobody is for you. In this life, Doctor, you've got to be a tiger.
Let me get you something for that.
No more bedside chairs, huh? No more. I've had a belly full.
I knew you'd understand, darling. You're wonderful.
Okay, that's fine. Everybody take a 5-minute break. Raleigh?
Thanks. I have my own tonight.
Oh, so you're smoking Raleighs now.
Yes, since our last rehearsal. I smoked yours and liked the taste.
I'm not surprised. Raleighs have a real tobacco taste.
John, you've smoked Raleighs for some time. Do you save the coupons?
Oh, you bet I do. That's how I got this billfold. And the building blocks for my son. Got them free for Raleigh coupons. So if you don't want that coupon, I'll make good use of it.
I can make good use of the coupon myself.
Raleigh coupons, good for free gifts. And now, you get famous Raleigh coupons on a light menthol cigarette. Bel Air, new Bel Air, the light menthol cigarette that gives you true tobacco taste. Bel Air is so refreshing. Finest quality tobaccos with a light touch. Just the right touch of menthol and the pure white modern filter. Only new Bel Air gives you true tobacco taste with just the right touch of menthol.
And remember, you get famous Raleigh coupons on Bel Air light menthol cigarettes, on Raleigh plain end, and on Raleigh filter tip.
So, on the night in question, Mr. Haynes, you were the conductor on the last eastbound train?
Yes, sir.
Did you pick up any passengers that night at Sutherland?
One. That jumping fellow over there.
Your Honor, I most bitterly object.
You will refrain from any characterizations. The remark will be stricken from the records and disregarded by the jury as though it had not been spoken.
Well, Mr. Haynes, we'll start again. The passenger you picked up was...
That gentleman there.
Indicating the defendant, Roy Chase?
Yes, sir.
Did you collect a fare from him?
No, sir. He jumped off at the next stop before I could get to him.
Thank you. Your witness.
Mr. Haynes. Mr. Haynes. From your employment record, you retired a month after the night in question.
When I reached 65, yes.
And your eyesight was no longer so sharp.
Sharp enough to spot a dead beat on my train.
Oh. Well, why didn't you reach him in time to get his fare?
Because he jumped on in the first car and I was 4 or 5 cars back.
Several hundred feet away.
Yes, sir.
And from that distance, you saw him well enough to identify him now as Roy Chase.
From his general appearance, yes.
At the time the man got off, how far away were you?
I was practically breathing down his neck, right in back of him.
In back of him, you say?
Yes, sir.
And his face was turned away from you?
Well,
thank you. Your witness.
No further questions.
Mr. Haynes, step down. Call your next witness.
Your Honor, may we first have a moment at the bench? All morning long, we've had nothing but a succession of the same kind of so-called eyewitnesses. Why won't the prosecution get at once to the heart of its case? Let him call the girl herself to see whether there is actually a case here, or whether in her emotional or mental disturbance she might be...
Thanks, I'll try my old case.
Well, how? By calling more retired conductors?
No, by calling the only witness who knows the truth.
Your Honor.
Let him call his witness and then I'll rule.
Dr. McKinley Thompson, take the stand. Now, Doctor, while you've been at the clinic, you ever treat a patient by the name of Roy Chase? Doctor, you've been asked if you ever had a patient by the name of Roy Chase.
I can't answer that.
You are a psychiatrist, aren't you?
I must decline to answer.
One moment. All I'm asking is...
I know what you're asking, but I consider it improper for a doctor to discuss even that.
We'll start again. Suppose I were to tell you that the hospital's records show that after an examination which ruled out an ulcer, Roy Chase was referred to you for psychotherapy.
I still must decline to answer.
Doctor, are you under the impression that the Hippocratic oath of formality at medical graduations overrides the laws of this state?
No, I've been told that it doesn't.
The law, you understand, requires that you testify.
Well, I still must decline to do so.
Are you deliberately putting yourself above the law?
I simply cannot, in all conscience, disclose something in public that a patient has revealed to me in secret.
You realize by refusing to answer, you may be obstructing justice?
Yes. Yes, I do.
And making yourself liable to fine and imprisonment? Your Honor, I request that you direct the witness to answer.
Dr. Thompson,
Yes, Your Honor.
I direct that you answer the district attorney's question.
With all respect, I can't possibly.
In that case, I move that the witness be cited for contempt of court.
I protest. To drag a respected member of the medical profession into court, to bully him unmercifully when he stands on his ethical privilege.
There is no such privilege under the law.
Your Honor, may I say something?
By all means, Doctor.
Well, unless a patient feels completely free to bear his innermost thoughts and secrets, there can be no therapy. Now, if a patient thinks that his psychiatrist can be forced to reveal what goes on in therapy, how can he give us the information we must have to help him? You know, in many cases, a patient will unconsciously reveal more to his doctor than he intends to. Well, is it fair then to take advantage of that? How can we teach our patients to trust anybody, including themselves, if we, their doctors, can be forced by law to entrap them? Now, you allow that, and you've turned the psychiatrist into a policeman, working in the service of the state, and no longer in the service of his patient.
Your Honor, will you permit me a reply?
Certainly, Mr. Harris.
I'm sorry that Dr. Thompson has made it necessary for me to repeat once more that the law in this state simply does not grant the right of secrecy in the relation between doctor and patient. It's not my choice or your choice. It's the law, based on the ancient principle that justice requires the full disclosure of all vital information. And to withhold evidence is to obstruct that justice. It will be an evil day when a witness is permitted, by his silence, to protect a criminal from justice, especially one charged with so repellent a crime. Once again, therefore, I move that Your Honor direct Dr. Thompson to answer my questions and to cite him for contempt if again he refuses.
Before ruling, I would like to consult all the available precedents. We will now take a short recess.
All rise. Court is now recessed.
is Arthur Fleming at the world-famous American Hospital Supply Corporation, where one of the most important skin beauty secrets was developed 15 years ago, Dermafresh. While testing Dermafresh on irritated skin, technicians also noticed their hands were getting a new look of youth and beauty. And now, from this hospital-proved formula, comes Dermafresh hand lotion to soothe, smooth, and help heal. Dermafresh, also available in a new medicated hand cream.
A product of Alberto Culver, who also brings you.
I refuse to shampoo again with this drawing dandruff shampoo.
Huh?
For days afterwards, my hair is wild.
Try this.
Subdue?
Subdue. Only true dandruff shampoo that leaves your hair civilized.
But you don't have dandruff.
Not now. Now it's my regular shampoo.
Make your regular shampoo Subdue. First true dandruff shampoo that leaves your hair manageable, civilized. Subdue.
Please, Mr. Harris.
Sorry, Alice. I can't promise that. If I lose the doctor as a witness, I most definitely will have to call you to the stand.
I just can't stand it. All those people staring at me.
All rise for honor of the judge.
So that it is true, as the district attorney argues, that this state has never specifically enacted a statute in protection of the confidentiality of communications between the patient and doctor. It is also true that in the practice of psychiatry there exists a relationship so delicate, so dependent upon full disclosure by the patient of his innermost secrets, that it is all but impossible to expect any therapy without it. In the final analysis, this court holds that the relationship of psychiatrist and patient is self-evidently a unique one, not at all identical with that of the ordinary physician and patient, and that it must be protected. Dr. Thompson, you will not be required to testify. You may step down now.
Thank you.
Mr. Harris, will you call your next witness?
Well, Alice, what do you want me to do?
Well, Mr. Harris?
Call her. Alice Mead, take the stand. And now, in your own words, try to tell us what happened.
My father was coming in on the last train westbound. It was past midnight when I got to the station. And I drove the car into the parking lot and waited. I was the only car there. And then a train came in.
Hey, Helen. What a doll, baby. To meet the weary traveler after all.
Sorry, you've got the wrong party,
Even
sir.
though I've been such a complete flop. A failure all along the line. Wait.
No, please don't.
No, just a kiss. For services
above and beyond call of duty.
No, please leave me alone.
Oh, now, there we go again. Now, it's Helen the Pure.
My name isn't Helen.
All right, now, on top of every other turn down I've had today.
I'm not your wife.
Move over.
No.
Now, look, all I'm asking for is a little love.
No. He hit me again and again, and then he started pulling at my clothes. And the only thing that finally stopped him was...
Please try to go on, Alice.
The westbound train started coming into the station, and suddenly he let go of me. And the next thing I knew, my father was bending over me, picking me up from the floor of the car.
And for how much of that time were you looking at the man who attacked you?
Every second.
Is he now present in this courtroom?
Right there.
The defendant, Roy Chase?
Yes!
Your witness.
She's wrong about that, isn't she, Roy? Roy?
Mr. Wilson, do you wish to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor. Alice, I'm not going to ask you to repeat every detail of a shocking experience that was forced on you through no fault of your own. It was enough to unnerve a mature woman, let alone a girl of your young years. And all you wanted in your blind panic was to get away from him.
Don't talk to me about blind panic. As if I didn't know what was happening that night. As if the whole fault was mine anyway.
Alice, I'm not for one moment
Well, that's what
suggesting...
people are thinking, isn't it? What did she expect from a man she let come into her car? A man she picked up? What kind of a girl is she anyway? She got just what she deserved.
Your Honor, may I ask you that to direct
I
the witness
know
to
that's
compose
what people are thinking.
Well, they're wrong
if they do that.
just as wrong and sick and disgusting as I was that night for doing what I did to you. I know there's no use in my asking you to suddenly forgive and forget. But, Your Honor, couldn't we at least get the record straight so this poor girl won't have to put up with any more sick little smiles so she can live like a nice, normal human being again?
Since changing your plea to guilty, you have assumed consequences and penalties far greater than any sentence this court could impose upon you. Your loss of reputation, your loss possibly of employment as well, and embarrassment before friends and neighbors. In view of your past record, and with the consent of the injured party, I suspend sentence, placing you on probation for a period of 3 years, psychiatric treatment to be continued. You're free to go now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court adjourned.
All rise for a round of the judge. Court adjourned.
No mistake. Not mistake.
Well, I'll pack a few things and I'll get out.
There's no need for that.
You think I could still possibly live with you and Lita after what I've done?
If you want us.
I want. Helen, it was bad enough before. Think what it'll be now. Every time I touch you.
Please. Come home.
Excuse me. Doctor. Doctor, I just want to say that I'm very...
No, look, forget it. I think we both learned something about ourselves.
The judge says I still have to have my treatments.
How about tomorrow morning?
Fine.
Usual time?
Yes.
All right.
I'll see you.
First came liquids for men's hair, made with alcohol. They dry hair. It pops up. Then came creams made with water. They dry out. Hair pops up. Now, the first hair groom advance in 16 years. New Command with natural oils, concentrated into a formula never before available. Command has no water, no alcohol. Gives hair a handsome, modern look. No drying, no pop-up. New Command, first hair groom advance in 16 years.
Next week, Arthur
sure.
O'Connell is our guest star on Breaking
Carter,
Point.
you're
in the psychiatric clinic now.
Oh, you're a head doctor?
I'm a psychiatrist.
Give me one good reason why an old man should want to stay alive.
Bing Crosby Productions and the American Broadcasting Company wish to thank the American Medical Association for its assistance in the production of Breaking Point. Breaking Point has been brought to you by New Command, first hair groom advance in 16 years, natural oils in a unique new concentrate, Command, and by new Anahist Continuous Action Tablets, the medication that could mean you may have suffered the needless congestion and pain of a cold for the last time.